Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing science today and we're starting the phases of the moon. So on this paper right here, I'm going by science right here. So there's a link right there. I'm going to post this link in the comments. And then the second link is from Wonderopolis, and I will post that too. And then the third thing is your USA test prep, and your teacher should have that assigned for you on there. So y'all just bear with me. All right, so in your packet that you got from school, you've got like a whole bunch of stuff. Now, what I'm going by right now is this article, What Causes the Phases of the Moon. That's what we're talking about first. So what I'm going to do is read this article. You can go through it with me, and we'll just talk about the important things that we see in the article, just like we do in class, just like your teacher does in class. And then I will talk about your moon journal. So for the moon journal, you'll need this page, you'll need this page, and then this page. So that's 3 pages that go together that you'll need. And that is all that you'll need for today's lesson. All right, so I'm going to read what causes the phases of the moon. It's fascinating to watch how the moon changes over a month. For a couple of days, it is a full bright circle. Then it begins to shrink until only a tiny crescent remains. Then it disappears altogether. Then it appears again, growing a little bigger each night until it is full again. What's going on? First of all, the changes in the amount of the moon's surface that is lit up over the course of a month is called phases. The next thing to know is that the light we see coming from the moon isn't moonlight at all, it is sunlight. The moon does not emit any light itself. The sun's light is reflected from the surface of the moon to us. Because the positions of the earth, moon, and sun vary throughout the course of the month, the amount of the moon's surface that we can see changes a little bit every night. So what's important from that paragraph is that obviously the moon has phases, but what we see is from the sun. The moon's not actually glowing, it's the sunlight that's being reflected. And so the moon changes between the earth and sun, so that's what's causing the phases. All right, I'm on paragraph 3 now. When the surface of the side of the moon facing earth is completely illuminated, we see a full moon. When none of the surface is illuminated and we can't see the moon at all, the phase is a new moon. So full moon means we see the whole moon, it's totally lit up. And then a new moon is when we can't see it at all. The phases, when half the side of the moon facing earth is lit up, is called the first and third quarters. When the visible moon seems to be getting bigger, we say it's waxing. And when the visible lighted surface seems to be getting smaller, we say the moon is waning. When less than half of the visible moon is lit, it's called crescent, and when it's more than half, it's called gibbous. All right, guys, so on that paper, it's kind of hard to see. There we go. So you've got your illustration, and it's showing each phase. Now, with our moon journal, you'll be able to see that at night, but the moon journal is going to take a good long time to like record, because we're doing it, while we're out. So it'll go on like over the next month, the next 4 weeks. You'll be keeping up with the moon and recording it on your paper that you've got, and I'll go over that too in a minute. Now, so you can see in the illustration, it has the sunlight here, and it's showing what we would see when the moon, and then there's Earth. Oh, this is so hard to do. There we go. There's Earth, so then there's the moon, and then there's the sun over here. All right, so, and then there's the phases. All right, last paragraph here on this page. The phase of the moon we see depends on where Earth is relative to the moon and sun. So it depends on its location. When the moon is between the earth and sun, so the moon is between earth and sun, think about that. The surface of the moon that is lit up is not facing us, so we can't see it at all. That's the new moon. When the earth is between the moon and sun, the sun's light bounces off the surface of the moon. The moon is completely lit up as seen from earth. This is full moon. When the moon is between those two positions, we see the first and third quarter. All right, so we're going to do an activity that shows you that. We're not doing it today. There'll be another video posted this week that shows you an illustration of that or a representation of that, so you can understand what they're telling you in this last paragraph, and to help you see what that what the light actually shows. So I'm going to do an activity. So if you're confused, don't stress out, because I'm going to do an activity to show you. This just has the phases in words. All right, so you've got your next page here that talks about what a blue moon is. And then here you have an activity that you can do underneath it, but I'm not doing that activity with you. I'm doing a different activity with you. This is one you can do if you want to. I just thought it would be good to attach it for you if you want to do it with your parents. All right, now, so all that talks about the phases. Now, everybody, your moon journal, that's what you're going to be in charge of doing at nighttime. So let's look at our instructions on there. It says start your moon journal at least 12 days before the full moon. We're not doing that. We're just starting tonight, and what we see is what we see, and that's what we're going to record. It says pick a viewing spot that has a good view of the southern sky. Every clear day for the next 2 weeks, you will go to that spot at sunset. Find the moon in the sky and draw its shape in your moon journal. So, on step 1, we have fill in the month and dates in the moon calendar. Each day, draw that shape that the moon looks like. That's here. I'm doing it too with you. I'll do it tonight, and I'll record that and post it for you so you can actually see what we're doing. Number 2, it says moon tracking. On your first day, figure out where north, south, east, and west are. Your parents can help you with that. On our phones, most of us have a compass on our phones, so you can use that too to figure out north, south, east, and west. And it says on the moon tracking sheet, draw where the sun is when it's setting. You can also include some landmarks on your horizon, houses, trees, and so on. And it says mark where the moon is compared to the landmarks you see and label it with a date like this. You're going to mark the moon's position many times, so make your marks small. So here it shows you, there we go. It shows you what it'll look like. So I'm doing it too. If you mess up, it's okay. You can use notebook paper, white paper, whatever. Just what we're doing is just tracking where the moon is at nighttime. All right, so that's your job tonight, is to keep up with, or every night, write down what the moon looks like and track where it is in the sky every night. Okay, now what I'm going to do is post a link for you. You need to click on the link, and so what you're going to watch is the exploration. So it talks about same thing, kind of like what I just talked about, but it's just another person telling you. So it gives you information about the phases of the moon and what it looks like, and then there is an activity on there. That's the activity that I'll be doing with you later in the week. Probably going to do it on Thursday. Today I didn't want to overwhelm everybody with a bunch of moon activities. So all you need to do is click on the link that I post, watch the exploration, read the passage if you haven't that I just read to you. Read it, highlight your important information, and then get your moon journal out tonight and start it. If you don't start it because you're confused, that's okay. But you do need to start it tomorrow. I will post the video of me doing it tonight. I will post it in the morning. That way you'll be clear on what you're supposed to do. And if you have any questions, I believe you can comment and ask me, and I'll answer them the best way I can. And that's all.